Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's live Jumpstart webinar. My name is Sobia, and I'm here with Rob. We are both with Success Website.
Hey everyone, good to be here. Christy is not going to be with us this week, so it's just Sobia and myself. We're in good hands. Sobia is going to take the wheel, and I'll be in the background answering any chat questions you may have. So feel free to go ahead and punch anything in there, and we'll take care of you. Sobia?
All right, so thanks so much, everyone, for joining. If you are new here, a special welcome to you. As Rob has just explained, you're probably all aware that Christy Filion hosts these webinars every Thursdays, and she's been doing it a long, long time. She will definitely be back very, very soon. She is attending a conference today. All right, so up on my screen, I have open successwebcare.com. This is your hub for your website platform. When you go to successwebcare.com, you can click on Command Center. This will allow you to log into the back office of your Success website. So again, I'm on successwebcare.com. You may want to bookmark this website if you haven't already done that. Through successwebcare.com, you'll also see a link to the training portal. This is where we upload all the recorded Jumpstart webinars, so you can watch those at your convenience. They are listed there based on topic. And again, all of the recordings are available to you. And I'm just going to scroll up here. You'll see this link, book a call. And if you'd like to schedule a call back with one of our representatives, this is the best way to do that. You can click on book a call, or you can come down here and click on set a call back. That'll allow you to schedule a time, same day, and get a call back from one of our representatives. I do want to mention, if you are working with a dedicated account manager that is helping you with your Google ads or your Facebook ads, they're also helping you with your website, I would encourage you to contact them directly to schedule a call instead of coming on here to book a call through successwebcare.com. And that is because your dedicated account representative is more familiar with your account. They're running the ads for you. They can better answer the questions that you may have. Okay, so let's explore today's topic. Today's webinar topic is maximize your database, adapting lead strategies post-NAR settlement. As all of you are aware, on Friday, March 15th, the National Association of Realtors reached a proposed settlement with the group of home sellers that filed a class action lawsuit accusing the real estate industry of artificially inflating home prices through unfair commission practices. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, how will this NAR settlement affect real estate agents? So agents all over the country in the US, actually including here in Canada as well, although this settlement doesn't directly impact Canadian realtors at this point, we are anticipating similar changes in Canada as well. So real estate agents all across North America are asking questions about what this settlement means exactly. So the key questions that they have include things like, how will I get paid? Are home buyers now expected to pay for their own buyer's agent? And that would be on top of the down payment and closing costs that they already incur. Do I have to change my entire business model? So there are a few things that we do know at this point, and that would include things like the offers of compensation to a buyer agent can no longer be published on MLS platforms. So as you're well aware, right now, usually on the MLS, there's a cooperating brokerage split that's listed there. That's how it's done up here in Canada. I'm sure it's very similar in the US. So that split is listed there, 2%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever it is. So the MLSs will now be adapting to that change and removing that section. Now, why is this being done? Well, this is supposed to encourage buyers to negotiate the buyer's agent fee directly with their agent. However, sellers can still help buyers with this expense. It would just be treated like a concession. Now, the other change is that we know of is that buyer's agents must have a written agreement with their buyers. Now, most of you on this call were probably already doing that, where before you took out any home buyers to look at properties, you were getting a buyer agreement signed. I know there are some agents that weren't necessarily forcing that initially, and they were willing to kind of show home buyers some properties and then talk to them about the buyer agreement. So this will no longer be the case because you do want to ensure that you are being compensated for the services that you provide. All right, so now that we know that this is happening or this is coming, what should we be doing to prepare? And I think the key here, the key point, and the key point here to success is adapting your strategies to maintain and grow your business even in uncertain times. So adapting your strategies, I think here is the key. And if we think back to, you know, other situations in the real estate industry that perhaps something similar did occur. And I can think of a time, when the internet was kind of new and a big thing, and the MLSs decided to go online and make the listing information available to the public. There was a lot of pushback from realtors at that time as well. And obviously, their concerns were if this information becomes available to the general public, why will a buyer need me? What will they need me for? Will they just go through the whole real estate transaction, the buying process by themselves? And of course, as you know, that was not the case. That is not the case even now. Real estate is a complex transaction. And I think most home buyers and sellers, with this being the biggest, asset, and that this is going to be one of the biggest transactions that they go through, they do really want the assistance of a realtor to help them. That your expertise and your knowledge is definitely something that helps them with this important transaction. So adapting to this change is the key here. Now, which areas can we look into when we talk about adapting? So I've listed a few here and we'll go through each one in detail. Having a strong value proposition, I feel, is important. Leveraging technology, strengthening client relationships, and re-engaging with dormant leads. So we'll go through each point more in detail. Strong value proposition. Okay, so what is a value proposition? So developing and communicating a compelling value proposition, which are the unique value and benefits that you offer to your clients, is very important. Having a strong value proposition allows you to differentiate yourself from the competition and effectively communicate the unique benefits that you bring to your clients. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this value proposition and kind of what elements come into play when we talk about something like this. So a strong value proposition could be things like your expertise and knowledge. So an agent has deep understanding of the local markets, the trends, neighborhoods, pricing, and all of this knowledge can really help clients make informed decisions. So you really do want to highlight your experience, your certifications, your specialized knowledge that you bring. And you want to provide information and insights so that clients can make well-informed decisions. So other things like emphasizing the personalized service that you offer, your strong negotiation skills, your effective marketing. that allows you to get homes sold faster. These are all things that are part of a strong value proposition. Now, I look at a lot of websites daily and mainly spend time on sites, success websites that our members have with us. And, you know, most of the branded sites that I see do not include a value proposition. So it's not communicated on on the website. So this may be something that you may want to consider. Now, I was just on a website earlier today, and I'm going to quickly show you. It's a video that you may have seen on some other members' websites as well. But this video does do that. It does convey a strong value proposition. So this one is the seller's video, and I know you're not going to hear the audio, but um, I'm just going to play this quickly. So this is a video on Harry Kimbrough's website, and this is on his seller's page. Okay, so this is just explaining to sellers what he can do for them. Okay, so he can sell their home fast and for top dollar with the least amount of hassle. So this is highlighting his expertise. And the video explains the difference between, getting results and maybe just emphasizing that not all realtors are the same. Now it is going to get into some of these points. So just talking about all of their agents, and not all agents are marketing experts. So this is highlighting or emphasizing the realtor's marketing skills. An innovative team approach, which provides superior and technology. So I'm not going to play all of it, but I do think that this is a good example of a video that tries to convey a strong value proposition. Okay, so now we want to incorporate our value proposition into all of our branding. We want to ensure that it's reflected in, on our website, in all of our marketing materials, on our social media profiles, and all of our videos, presentations should also have that element included. Okay, so now I guess if this isn't the case for you, you may want to consider optimizing your website and your social media profiles and showcase client testimonials, success stories, and your unique selling proposition if you're not already doing that. Okay, so the next point here is leveraging technology, and I don't think that I need to kind of emphasize that to the members on our call today, because you all understand the value that technology brings, and you're here because you understand that leveraging technology is important. So using your CRM tools to manage your database effectively is going to be very important. And I'll be taking you through the Engage CRM and show you how we can implement some of these ideas. So what we'd like to do with technology is automate routine communications and track interactions for a personalized experience. And the goal is to strengthen client relationships. So we want to segment our database so that we can group leads by characteristics such as location, buying, selling status, and past interactions. And again, I'll be showing you how you can segment your leads through the Engage CRM to be able to send, appropriate and relevant messaging to your leads. So with strengthening client relationships, we also want to nurture relationships. And of course, this is very important, especially in real estate, because from the time you generate the lead to the time they actually convert, as in purchase or sell their home, can be quite lengthy. So This nurturing process involves you staying in touch regularly through personalized emails, text messages, calls, and also through remarketing and retargeting ads that you may run on Facebook, YouTube, and even other websites. So by other websites, we can run Google ads. So they have a display network which allows you to run ads on their partner websites. And this basically covers, about 90% of the internet is what they claim. Okay, and then strengthening client relationships would also mean that you are providing added value. And you can do this by offering things like market insights, neighborhood guides, home buying and selling tips. You can emphasize your knowledge of the local real estate market, neighborhoods, and property values. And one good way to do this is you can create a buyer's guide or a seller's guide. Some of you may already have this available, and you're implementing that, providing that to your buyers and sellers. Um, if you haven't, maybe this is something that you may want to consider putting together. And strengthening client relationships also involves building trust. So you want to do that by sharing success stories and testimonials. Again, I think most of our members are doing this. Some of you may not be just yet, but this is something that you may want to put some thought into, and highlight how you've helped, you know, buyers find their dream houses. Um, People like stories, right? So if you can get a client to record a video and offer a video testimonial on your website, I think that is usually quite beneficial. Okay, and then we can also strengthen client relationships by being transparent about your process and your fees. Now, fees obviously were not a concern necessarily in the past, not for buyers anyway, maybe a little bit for sellers, but this is something that may start to come up in the near future. Okay, and another key area on how we can adapt to this upcoming change is to re-engage with dormant leads. So we want to be able to identify dormant leads and re-engage with them through personalized communication. And again, I'll take you through the CRM and we'll talk a little bit more about how we can do that. So we want to share updates or inquire about changes in their buying and selling plans. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the command center here. So I know that database management is probably not something that most of you want to, spend too much time on. It may not seem like such an important element of your business operations, but it actually is, because your leads are your biggest asset, and you really do want to make sure you're managing your database effectively. One component of that is database cleansing. So we want to make sure that the information is up to date, it's current, and I guess one way to do that, I just want to point out here, is we can mark leads as spam and delete them. That allows us to be more efficient with our time. We're not accidentally, spending time communicating with a lead that really is just spam and, wasn't marked correctly in our database. So I'll show you how to do that here. So I'm in the Engage CRM and I'm looking at the leads list. You can place a check. So you would just click on the profile photo of the lead and you'll see that green check mark appear. So now up here it's telling me I have 2 leads selected out of 89. This is just a demo account, so this isn't a live command center. It's just we use this for testing purposes only. So these are not real leads. But to mark the leads as spam, we just select them by clicking on the profile photo. And then up here on the top right, you will see this actions button. When you click the actions button, you can then click Mark Lead Spam and delete, and that will remove them from your CRM. Okay, so we're going to be spending a lot of time now talking about segmentation. So grouping your leads so that you can communicate with them with relevant information, but as a group instead of individually, so that you're effectively using your time. Okay, so we have a lot of filters on the left side here. The only way to really utilize them is if we are marking the lead record with some of this pertinent information, okay, pertinent data about each lead. And I'll take you through that now. So I'm just going to click the name of a lead. So I'm clicking on the name to open up the lead record. And I'm just up here at the top left of the screen, just under the name of the lead. And up here, this drop-down menu is for the type of lead that we're looking at. So type as in this could be a buyer, a seller, or even both. Okay, so in this case, we're seeing undefined because this is actually, as I mentioned, it's a demo account. So this is just a direct call that had come in. So our system has no way of identifying whether this would be a buyer or seller. It may just be a spam, I don't know. But we do want to make sure that we are categorizing our leads correctly so that we can send them the right communication. So we want to mark them as a buyer or a seller or both. And then down here, this is the status field, okay? When you get a new lead, it's always going to be set to active lead, all right? We will not be able to segment our leads by status if all the leads are set to active lead. So we do want to document their status here in the CRM. If you've talked to the lead, you can mark it as such that you've talked to the lead. If the lead is in the nurturing process, in the nurturing phase, you can mark them as nurture. If you've set an appointment with the lead, you can mark it as appointment set. If they missed an appointment, again, you may need to follow up with them and send them appropriate messaging for that, rescheduling, etc. You want to mark that as a missed appointment. If you are working with the lead, you know, we probably want to send them different messaging. So you want to mark them as either a buyer client, a seller client, but we don't want to, keep the status at active lead. Okay, and then down here, we can also filter and segment leads based on TMS code. TMS code is the source of the lead. Where was the lead generated from? Which ad? So for example, if you were running Facebook ads or Google ads, the TMS code would indicate the platform. So G underscore or FB underscore, and then also the if it's a hot list ad that you're running, for example, the area and price range may be part of the TMS code. So again, you can filter leads by TMS code to send them relevant communication. Down here is the tags. Tags are just labels. So you want to make sure you're tagging leads when necessary. And you can create your own tags, things that are meaningful to you. To assign a tag, I just click the plus sign and I can select from the tags that I've created. So again, this is just a demo account, so these aren't really relevant to real estate. If you wanted to create tags, you would come up here to the My Leads or the Engage CRM menu at the top left, and you can click on lead tags to create your own tags. And then you can go ahead and assign a tag. So just to give you an example of a tag, maybe you've generated a lead that only speaks Spanish. And I think it would be important to mark that lead as Spanish so that you are not sending them communication in English by mistake. So that would be an example of a tag that you may want to create. Okay, so now I'm just going to move up here to the buyer and seller profile button, just in the middle of the screen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to move to the qualification and scripts. Qualification and scripts. So this section here is the key motivation and timing questions that you may want to document in the lead record. And again, we can filter by this information. So is the lead moving in less than 3 months? Do they own? Do they have a home to sell? Do they want to buy first? Do they want to sell first? Are they pre-approved for a mortgage? We can send messages, to our leads based on these filters. And to use the filters, we do want to document answers to these questions in the lead record. And you can do that just by clicking the answer. So planning to move in how many months? Less than 3. Current housing situation, they own a home, they want to buy first. No, they're not working with an agent, and yes, they are approved for a mortgage. Okay, so now I'm just going to move to, again, the leads list, and we're going to take a look at these filters and how we can possibly create segments of leads. Okay, so I'm just going to go up here to the period activity menu, and I'm going to select registration date. So let's say, for example, I wanted to send some messaging to all the buyer leads that I generated this week. Okay, so I can come up here, select registration dates, and period range would be the last 7 days. So just disregard the 0 lead results that we're seeing on the right-hand side. This is, as I mentioned, not a live account, so we don't have too many leads in here, and your results will be different, but we're just focusing on the filters on the left side. So I'd like to send messaging to buyer leads that have generated in the last 7 days. So I selected registration date from the period activity. I selected the last 7 days. Now I can scroll down here, and I want to select from types, I want to select the category buyer. Okay, so that allows me to generate a list of buyers that I generated this week, and I can now save that segment, right? I can just save it and then just give it a name, and then it becomes available in my segment drop-down menu here. Which means that I won't have to necessarily select these filters each time. So if I want to just come back next time, next week, for example, I can just click on my segment called maybe new buyer leads, and up will pop up the leads that I generated that week that are buyers. So let's talk about some messaging that we may want to send to these new leads that I generated this week that are buyer leads. So up here on the Engage CRM menu or the My Leads menu, you will see email templates. When I click email templates, this will allow me to create an email template to send to my leads. Now we do have a few already created here, but I'm just going to go up to this button here, the plus email template button. This allows me to create a new template. And the template name is just for my purposes, and I'll just give it a name. I'm just going to call it buyer presentation. So say I wanted to send a brief buyer presentation to these leads before I've had a chance to speak with them and really, schedule an appointment with them. I want to give them an idea of what they can expect from my services. So maybe I've prepared a small video that I can send to them. We can give the email a subject line, so something like home buyer's guide, and then I'm ready to compose my email message. And perhaps I want to include the name of the prospect in the email. So I have these replacement patterns available to me just on the right side. So I'm just going to click lead, and I'm going to click on prospect first name. And so now that replacement pattern has been entered and will be replaced with the name of the lead when I send this message out. So I just want to say, hi, prospect first name. And like I said, maybe I have a video that I want to send. So Christy Filion actually hosted a great webinar 2 weeks ago where she went into details on how to incorporate video on your landing pages and then um, get a thumbnail image from the video, upload it to your My Files directory, and then include that thumbnail in an email template. So she went through all those steps. So I won't go through this in detail with you, but basically if I wanted to insert the thumbnail image of my video, I would make sure that I upload it to the My Files directory. So through my platform, I want to click My Files, and then I want to upload that image. Once I've done that, I can quickly insert that image using, so this editor up here is very, very helpful, and it has a button here for Open My Files. And this allows me to quickly insert an image into my email template. So I'm just going to click it and it just opens up, all of these images that we have in here. I'll just click the first one. And if I wanted to link this image to a landing page on my website where buyers can go and watch my video, I would just go ahead and right click on the image and I'll get a menu, and I'm just going to click image properties, and then you'll see a URL here. You want to put in the URL for your landing page. So it'll be the full URL like HTTP or HTTPS, and then your website domain name and the page name as well. So that's how you can create a link. So the image, when clicked on, will then go to your landing page. Okay, and to finish up my email template, I may want to insert my agent signature at the bottom. I can go up to this default replacement pattern section, and I can click on agent signature so that my agent signature is included. All right, and then all I need to do is click on save. So now that that's saved, I can quickly send that out to my leads. I'll just show you how that's done. I'm going to reset this filter. There's a reset button here, which allows me to remove these filters and see all of my leads. So then I just, I can send the email out as an action plan to a group of leads, or I can send it out individually. To do it individually, I just click on the leads record, and then there's a button just at the bottom. I'm not seeing it right now because this is a demo account, but next to the email, you'll see a button on the left side of this field with a email template library that you can click on to insert your email template and send it out to your lead. Okay, so now I'm just coming back to segments and how we can segment our leads so that we can communicate with them effectively. So we talked about the buyers that we generated in the last 7 days. Okay, we can also segment leads by tags, so tags that we've created. So just coming back to that example of someone who speaks Spanish or prefers Spanish, we can use the tags field to create a group of leads that we can communicate with in Spanish, and then we can send some of our Spanish communications specifically to them. As I mentioned before, we can also filter leads by TMS code. So if we wanted to assign an action plan to leads that we have generated, for example, from maybe a Google ad that we're running, it may be like, it could be, a buyer ad or a seller ad, it doesn't really matter, but we can select, one TMS code, multiple TMS codes, depending on the group that we are trying to create. So this is an example here, the G Ajax homes under 900K. This is a typical TMS code for a Google ad. So I can click it to select it. I can select other TMS codes as well. And then just click save, and it'll show me the results of all the leads that match that TMS code. And again, I can save this as a segment if I'd like, or I can just group them and select all to go ahead and send them a particular action plan. So I come up to the actions menu, and now I can assign a specific action plan that I've created just for these leads and send that off to them. Okay, so I'm just going to reset the filters one more time. And I'm going to come down here to this one here. So I recently was working with one of our members, and he wanted to send a re-engagement plan to buyers that were looking for a luxury home. So he had a specific text plan in mind that we had created through his Engage Action Plan section. And he wanted specifically to take a look at those leads that were searching from homes, in a certain price range. Okay, so we used this filter here, the price filter. So now this allows you to filter leads that are searching for homes on your website. So again, I don't think we have any examples here because these are not real leads, but this one here, I guess, is kind of that sort of example where it's showing us what median and average price this particular lead has been searching in. And, perhaps they looked at multiple homes. We would see thumbnail images of those homes in the lead record. But this price filter on the left side allows us to create a group of leads that are looking for homes in a certain price point. And then we have the ability to send them appropriate communication. Okay, and one other filter that I think is very important that I want to point out here is available here under the period activity. So period activity, last engage date. So unfortunately, we do see this all the time where leads are missed, communication. You may have missed communication from a lead. They just fell through the cracks, unfortunately. So this filter here is great for knowing the last engage date for some of your leads. So for example, if you wanted to see leads that are the last time you engaged with them is more than 90 days, you can filter, use that filter there and segment, create a category, a group of leads that you have not communicated with for some time. And then of course, you can create a specific re-engagement plan for them. And we do have a couple more minutes, so let me just quickly show you how we can do that. So if we come up to the Engage CRM menu or My Leads menu at the top left, I'm going to click on Action Plans Manager. Now, I believe Christy has gone through some of this more in detail on previous webinars. You can definitely go to our Jumpstart portal to take a look at those. But just quickly here, we have this action plan library just on the right side of the screen. And we've got some templates that are ready to go that you can definitely utilize. Okay. But for re-engagement, you may want to create something more personalized, more relevant. It may be, something custom that you want to do. And if that is the case, to create a custom action plan, just click this button up here, the plus action plan button, and just give it a name. So I'm just going to call it re-engagement. I'm going to click create action plan. And now this allows me to build it. And I'm just going to click this green plus icon at the top. And now I can decide whether I want to drop a ringless voicemail, whether I want to send an email or an SMS. And obviously I can include a few of these. So I can send an SMS as well as an email and drop them a ringless voicemail. That's completely up to me because I'm building this, and this would be a custom re-engagement plan. So I have control of the messaging. I have control over when I send those messages, and how many I send as well. All right. So Rob, I believe, has been keeping a close eye on the chat. And Rob, if you want to just turn on your mic and let me know if there's anything that you feel needs to be answered or discussed more in detail, I'm happy to do that. We do have a couple more minutes remaining.
You covered the amount here. Uh,
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that, Rob? There was a bit of an issue with the audio.
sure. No, I think you covered everything quite well. I don't know we need to go over anything, or I didn't have anything that we need to elaborate on. Uh, I would just like to thank you though for taking over this week. I think you did an excellent job.
My pleasure. This is actually my very first time.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's been quite the experience. Definitely
question.
can't walk into Christy's shoes. She's been doing it for years and years. So I'm just trying to fill in today. All right, then I guess we can just go ahead and finish up a little bit earlier than usual today. So I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to join us today. And I really hope that you will join us again next week on our next Jumpstart live webinar. This webinar has been recorded. If you do want to visit our Jumpstart portal next week, it should be available to you to watch again. So thank you so much to you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.